Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this mountain weather update. This is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. My first stop is radar. I show you this just to give you the general pattern and the general overview. What you see now is what we're going to see occur all the way through 128, where we have these storm systems lined up in the Pacific with a strong subtropical jet. They all hit California, Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia, and then they'll send energy into the interior Rockies. It could be a couple of southern track storm systems through the Four Corners, could be just waves of snow that pass through Utah, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, but that's the way things are going to shake out for quite a while. In fact, let me just show you what it looks like on water vapor satellite imagery. So you've got your main storm now. That was the starting point for this warmer Pacific pattern. It sent a little southern track low out ahead of it. A little piece broke off. There's another area of low pressure behind it, another one behind that. Just a large trough of low pressure sitting out here supporting all this with a strong subtropical jet just escorting all of this in like a conveyor belt, blowing it into the west coast. So here's the forecast radar and satellite. So here's the situation by Monday morning at 6. New surge of snow hitting the Sierra above 7,500 feet. Some leftover snows through parts of the Tetons, the Wasatch, and in Colorado it all looks pretty light. Here comes that storm system, breaks loose, becomes a storm that affects the Intermountain West. You can see it. It actually turns into a southern track low through the Four Corners, but it sends snow into the Wasatch, the Tetons, into Idaho, and eventually into Colorado and New Mexico. Another storm hits the Pacific Northwest, and then that one moves into the interior with another wave of snow there on 125 through Idaho, Montana, Tetons, Wasatch, and eventually into Colorado as well and down into New Mexico. It becomes a southern track storm. There's 126 at the end of the day, some leftover light snows through Colorado, and the next storm hitting the Pacific Northwest. So it's just one after another. Here are my latest bullet points. Here's what I'm thinking with this update. So we've got 3 to 4 different storm systems that will affect the West Coast through 128. You can see the timing for Sierra snow. Again, that surge overnight into 122. Another snow 124, 125, all above 7,500 feet. That's where you really need to be. You can see the timeline for Utah, Wyoming, and Colorado. You've all got light to moderate snow chances, at least a few different ones as these waves move into the interior. Northeast, you've got some snow coming afternoon 123 and 124. Could change over to a rain-snow mix or all rain 125 and 126. So we'll look at all that in this forecast update. I want to show you the jet stream. So this is 122 Monday. Strong subtropical jet moving that warm air in. You can see a little bit of a trough there over the Intermountain West where we could have 1 to 2 southern track storms roll through the Intermountain West. Here's the jet on 125, a little more amplified, but still looking at that trough, helping to guide those storm systems out of the Intermountain West, out of Colorado and New Mexico. And finally, 130. There's just no cold air with this pattern. That's the other bottom line. With this type of pattern, everything's bottled up into Canada, even some high-pressure ridging on 129, 130 across the Intermountain West. So probably not going to see anything happen at that point. Waiting for the next jet to come rolling in. You can see it's loading up that jet streak, that subtropical jet. May move in around the first few days of February into the West Coast. Okay, let me just show you grand total snowfall, 122 through 130. So we've still got a foot of snow yet to go in the Wasatch, probably 4 to 8 in the Tetons, and probably 2 to 6 in most of Colorado, heavier in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, and probably 10 to 20 inches above 7,500 feet in the Sierra, 1 to 3 feet up in the British Columbia area in Washington State. Let me break that down by time period. So this is 122 into 121 into 122. You can see with that storm system moving in, I wanted to include both time periods so you can see how much snow you have by 122 there, and potentially another 6 in the Wasatch, 1 to 4 in Colorado, and probably 6 to 12 in the High Sierra. Here's the second time frame, 123 to 125, another 6 in the Wasatch, 3 to 4 up in the Tetons, another 1 to 3 in Colorado, and a few more in the Sierra. Final time period, 126 to 130. Last storm system moving in before things dry out. Maybe another 1 to 4 in Colorado, heavier in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico. Let me show you the Northeast. So this is 122 through 130. Most of the snow comes afternoon 123 into 124, and then it changes over to rain-snow mix 125, 126. So you're only getting light to moderate accumulations as a result of that changeover. But that's going to do it, probably 3 to 6 inches, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Always appreciate you tuning in here, and take care.